The Miami Dolphins take on the Cleveland Browns this Sunday. I'm here to break it all down. In terms of playoff picture, right before we get into today's video, the Dolphins can technically be eliminated from playoffs if both the Broncos and Chargers win on Saturday, although I hope that the Bengals can pull through. With all that said, playoffs are an absolute long shot. I do not think it's going to happen because I don't think the Dolphins will get the help that they need, and that is due to the hole that they dug themselves into. But
I'm tired of suffering.
Here to break down this Dolphins-Browns game, starting with the offense. The Dolphins offense is 23rd in points per game. Browns defense is 26th in points allowed. In terms of the running game, Dolphins are 24th in rushing yards per game. Browns defense is 19th in rushing yards allowed. Browns just put defensive tackle Shelby Harris on the IR, who's a very good player for them, and the Dolphins are coming off one of their best rushing performances of the season against the San Francisco 49ers. Having both tackles healthy as well as Isaiah Wynn returning to the lineup paid dividends, and hopefully the Dolphins can look to build on that in this game again, and once again just build off this running game, because ultimately I think this is the biggest part of the game holding the Dolphins back from consistently being good. Against the good teams, this is the phase of the game that tends to get wiped away. So I want to see the Dolphins continue to build on this. And overall, it's going to be something they have to look into in the offseason to just firm up so that regardless if it's the Browns or if it's the Eagles, regardless of the team in front you're playing, you are able to establish this running game, because that just opens everything up for this offense. And once again, I don't think we're going to make the playoffs. So just ending the season on a good note, especially with the running game, I think is a good way to start. In terms of our passing attack, we're 15th in passing yards per game. The Browns are 15th in passing yards allowed. In terms of the passing game, just do what you do. Don't turn the ball over, make stupid mistakes, but I feel very confident in the Dolphins' ability to pass the ball. We all know how this passing offense is. It's a very quick passing offense because of how defenses want to play us. It's so funny, like the whole narrative, who gets the ball out really quick, but guess what? If you want to play a too high coverage and let up everything underneath, then why not take advantage of it? It'd be stupid not to. So I expect that similar offense, a lot of screens, which I know people get upset about, but once again, if they want to leave a lot of cushion and space underneath, why not take advantage of it? But I would like to see try and hit an explosive on a double move, or just taking advantage of some overplay from the defense if they're being over aggressive on the quick hitting routes to double move them, especially if Waddle's out again. We saw a lot of single high coverage from the 49ers and just shading the safety towards Tyreek, so opportunity for somebody else to maybe make a big play without help over top. So I'd like to see them hit an explosive. We haven't seen it in a while. Tyreek dropped a few this past game, tough plays, but he did drop them, so I'd like to see them maybe hit an explosive play. But just to recap the keys, obviously very simple. The Browns aren't a very good team. Their defense isn't very good, and they're pretty hurt with injuries or without some of their best players, but look to establish the run, build off of what you did last week, protect the football, because once again, how you get beat by inferior teams is by turning the ball over and making stupid mistakes. So protect the football and then do what you do in the passing game. Get the ball quick to your playmakers, whether it's Jonnu, Achane, Malik Washington, Tyreek. Let your players make plays in space. Player swats for this Browns defense. Obviously, Myles Garrett, arguably the best defensive player in all of football. Absolute stud. The dude is built like he's from a lab, dude. He's like 6'5", 280, just a sculpture. And then Denzel Ward, one of the best corners in all of football. Once again, not a very good unit this year. In terms of the Browns offense, they're 31st in points per game. Dolphins defense is 9th in points allowed. And then a note in terms of the Browns offense, the quarterback is up in the air. And I think this has a big impact on how I feel about this game. They started DTR from Jameis last week. I hope that's the case again, because I don't think DTR is an NFL caliber quarterback, and I think Jameis is. Obviously there's very low lows with Jameis, but Jameis gives the Browns the chance to beat anybody. Like with that said, it's not like a high percentage, but the Browns could beat anybody with Jameis, but he could also lose to anybody with his turnovers. But I'd be a lot more fearful of the Browns if Jameis is at QB, because he could just eat a W for that game, where but there's also the opportunity where he throws 3 interceptions. So with that said, I hope it's DTR at quarterback, and I'll feel a lot more confident about the Dolphins winning. In terms of the running game, the Browns are 27th in rushing yards per game. The Dolphins are 7th in rushing yards allowed. Keep that run defense going. That's a phenomenal number, being top 10 in run defense. This defensive unit, obviously there's been ups and downs throughout the season, but I've said it before, I'm very confident in this unit. I have a lot of love for Anthony Weaver, and I have a lot of belief in him going forward. So I hope he doesn't get a head coaching gig and we can see this defense back, hopefully with some more tools for him to work with, whether that's just from health of Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb, who knows what happens with his contract, but excited about this defense going forward if it hopefully stays. In terms of the passing offense, the Browns are 18th in passing yards per game, and the Dolphins are 11th in passing yards allowed. So once again, Dolphins have the better number. This Browns team isn't very good. Their skill players, the only ones you have to fear are Judy and Njoku. Njoku is on the injury report. I'm going to guess he doesn't even play. I don't think he's participated in the past 2 practices, and there's no point in them running him out there if they can risk injury. So Judy's had a very good year, kind of proving who he is, which I'm happy to see for Jerry Jeudy. Hopefully the Dolphins, if the Dolphins only have to worry about Jerry Jeudy and Njoku, I feel confident about how he can match up, whether it's Ramsey or some kind of coverage dictation towards those guys. So overall, I think the Dolphins are just better all around. Keys for the defense, once again, stop the run. If any team can run the ball consistently on you, they're going to continue to do it, but the Dolphins have been very good, and as we pointed out, the Browns have not. Don't let up explosive. It's similar to what I noted about the offense. The way bad teams beat you is if you play poor football fundamentally, whether it's turning the ball over, letting up explosive plays due to coverage busts or poor tackling. So don't let up the explosive plays, because it's going to be hard for them to drive down the field with their caliber of roster, and then just feast. You're going to have a lot of opportunities, I think. Just put them behind, make them in obvious passing downs, get sacks, get interceptions, like finally tee off on a team. We haven't seen the Dolphins fully be able to do that with just a complete game from the offense and the defense. So I'd love to see the Dolphins offense get out, give this defense a lead, and then just play with their hair on fire, get after the quarterback, force errant throws, force bad decisions, get interceptions, just look like have a complete victory. I really expect that from the Dolphins. Barring the weather, there is a potential chance it's like a monsoon. But as one of our coaches noted, Cleveland weather is very unpredictable. It could be raining, it could be snowing, it could be fine. So I think there is a little bit of rain in the weather report, but nonetheless, I feel very confident about this Dolphins defense ability to stop this offense. In terms of players to watch for the Browns, I mentioned them: Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku. If Jameis does start, I'd throw Jameis in there. He's a very fun player who, once again, could be very fun for the Browns and keep them in a game with just crazy plays that he makes, or he could also make the mistakes. But overall, in terms of my prediction, lifetime on my YouTube channel predicting Dolphins games, I'm at the 50 mark. I'm 34-16 lifetime, which is a great number. This season, I'm phenomenal. I'm 11-4 this year on picking Dolphins games. So once again, you can tail me and you probably be making money this year. But my prediction for this game, assuming that DTR is at quarterback, I have the Miami Dolphins winning 34-10. If it's Jameis, I think it's a lot closer. But with DTR, I have the Dolphins teeing off on the Browns, winning 34-10. Comment your thoughts down below. I appreciate you guys for watching. Like and subscribe to help the channel grow. And until next time, fins up.